From an artist in the south of France. April 2021, Thoughts from the Riverbank. Post number 1, an introduction to my world. Hello there. In these posts, I'm going to share with you some stories about regional culture, history and traditions of the south of France. I aim to show you why I love this region so very much, why the lifestyle is still so great, and why creative people have been drawn to come and live here for centuries. I hope to share with you my enduring passion for painting and making artwork, and what inspires me and provokes my thoughts and work in my studio. This is a region of exceptional natural beauty, of famous coastlines, of great history, of lasting inspiration to all sorts of creative people. The Mediterranean is the birthplace of the founding pillars of Western society: philosophy, the written word, mathematics, religion, but also of perfumes, soaps, wines, foods, and of course the fine arts. The south of France has been a chosen destination and inspiration for creative people of many nationalities, painters and writers included, for hundreds of years. Many chose to come here to live and work, and a while ago so did I. As an artist, I felt I was following something of an established educational and culture-imbibing tradition, dating at least as far back as the Grand Tour of the 17th century. As a Northern European, I arrived and felt I had landed in heaven. The countryside, the colours, the people, the art, the lifestyle, the light. Everything lived up to the romantic idea I had as a child of life in the south of France. An idea formed by reading famous books, watching movies, going to shows of wonderful paintings, eating the fruit and drinking the wine, and the summer holidays of my childhood. My name is Jessica Langton, and I'm a painter, an artist who has been living in the south of France for about 30 years now. In fact, a couple of years ago I was granted French citizenship, but I was born in the north of England, in York. The Northern English lifestyle of the 1960s and 1970s was actually very different from the Mediterranean lifestyle of the 1980s. Moving here was a big cultural change for me, and discovering the lifestyle as a foreigner gave me an observer's perspective on the south of France, a strong sense of being on the outside looking in. Despite learning French in school, I couldn't speak it very well, could hardly understand when argot or slang was spoken to me, and I knew no one in the small market town where I first settled. The social and communication bubble I found myself in at first pushed me to use my eyes, sharpen my focus, observe more closely. Almost immediately, I returned to artwork. I'd been in art school in the UK before I came to France, and very soon I began to paint seriously for the first time. In fact, I studied sculpture at art school. The light and colours and shapes were inspiring. 30 years later, I am beginning to know the country I've chosen to live in, and I love the French Mediterranean. My understanding and appreciation for the place has only grown and deepened. And the inspiration I get from my artwork has grown too. The difference now is it feels familiar and comfortable, and I am more connected, more rooted. As a non-native, I have kept my outsider's perspective, but as an artist I see that that is an advantage now. This is the beginning of what I hope will become a collection of posts, giving you an idea of what it's like to live here and to be a practicing artist. I'd like to share some of the things I love about this life, this Mediterranean lifestyle, and I am hoping to share some of the things I think are important about being creative. Because for me, being creative and curious are a big part of what makes us feel good about ourselves and our lives. And with the year we just experienced, many of us have more time and more need for creativity. I hope that these posts might bring you a change of scene as well, and maybe something different to think about. In art, there are lots of different schools of thought. There are many schools of technique. There are eras of painting, there are historical themes, there are fashions, there are social influences. Every culture and history is documented, expressed and remembered through its artists' artworks and the creative people who interpreted, translated, invented or reinvented their experiences at the time. Art is not just about the result, the work of art produced by an artist, what we can see, read or listen to, so much as the process, the way we use our senses, like sight, our observations of our world, refining, strengthening and questioning how we see. For me, it's about our capacity to think about things, how we can absorb and make sense of our world. A creative person is like a sponge, absorbing and absorbing, drinking in with all our senses, developing our creative imagination, and then trying to express what we see, understand or feel through the creation of a painting, a project, a novel, a piece of music, a great dinner, a new range of products. I think it is interesting to live in and be inspired by a different country or culture than the one we grew up with. The Mediterranean is a rich source of sensual life. The colours, the textures, the flavours, the perfumes, the sound of nature, the strong shapes in sunlight and shadow created by its special, almost all year round, light. Sun, sea and sky. I find it as inspiring as the day I first arrived and go for walks in my local landscape as often as I can as a way of being inspired by colour and form to get some exercise, but also as a way of focusing in on my work. What am I going to do today in the studio? What am I thinking about? What are my objectives? Or as a way of cleansing my thoughts, emptying my mind, ready to face a new canvas. In the next few posts, I intend to use my recent walks around my village as a starting point for some ideas I've been thinking about at the moment. Please join me again if you can, and don't hesitate to contact me via my website with your questions or comments at www.jessicalangton.com. Thanks for joining me here. Maybe see you next time.